Dr. Jared Vasquez, UFC 239. My little heart can't take it. This was an amazing fight card from top to bottom. A whole bunch of great fights in the main card. Let's just stick to the important ones. Let's just stick to the main important ones. And let's start with Chiesa versus Thiago Sanchez. This fight for me, it wasn't fun. Chiesa, a lot bigger than Diego Sanchez. Diego had the energy. Diego scrambled a lot, but it almost felt, and you guys can comment if you think the same like me. Chiesa versus Diego almost felt like a jiu-jitsu rolling match, like a sparring match. I didn't see a defined plan from Chiesa to finish the fight, or if he couldn't finish Diego at 170, it's going to be tough for him. It's a long road, and it's going to be a little bit tough for Maverick to kind of shine on that weight class. I don't know. Call me a skeptical fan, but I don't think he's gonna make it far in 170. Although he got the W today. Kudos to him. Diego, his stock does not diminish. I mean, he had that weird thing going with not having Greg Jackson and Wink, and having this random crazy guy in his corner giving non-advice. But yeah, he's still a legend. The shocks continue, or the shocks begin with Jan Blachowicz just putting it to Luke Rockhold. It's very interesting because Luke Rockhold was wearing a sleeve on his left shin, and he's had Staphylococcus aureus infection, which is a very fastidious and difficult subcutaneous and soft tissue infection of the leg. That's very common let's pull up a couple pictures of staph infections. It depletes the person. We don't know if his staph was active, or if his staph was somewhat bothering him. Cardiovascularly, it could deplete a fighter, but he just wasn't there. I mean, the left kicks were effective in the beginning, but as the fight drew to a closer, he kept sticking to trying to get the takedowns. So that didn't yield anything. Jan Blachowicz, he's a good ground fighter, and he has good defensive wrestling. He's not a great wrestler, but he has good defensive wrestling. So Rockhold, he got touched in the button. I mean, Joel Romero did it before. Michael Bisping did it before. Even David Branch touched him up a little bit in a losing effort against him in 185. So I don't think this is the division for him. As a matter of fact, I think that he's one of the fighters that I think is gonna take a hiatus or leave the sport after this card. There's more fighters. You guys know who I'm talking about. Let's go and move on to Askren versus Masvidal. There's not a lot of fight, but there's a hell of a lot to talk about. Askren, he seemed scared. He seemed very scared. He walked forward and dipped his head. When you're fighting a brawler like Masvidal, like game-bred fighter, you don't take your eyes off of him. So he was. You need to exchange a little bit, make him throw, go for the takedown, create this sticky situation. But just walking in, and he just got Kid Yamamoto. If you pull up the video of Kid Yamamoto doing the knockout in a couple seconds as well, it's the same damn knee. It's the same knee that Jose Aldo used to KO Cub Swanson. You cannot tell me it's not the same. It's the same knee, and it landed perfectly. It landed on the temple, and it put him. He was flat. He was rigid. His brain was shut off already. All those shots, all those extra shots were just kind of icing on the cake. He's definitely going to be sore tomorrow. And he went to the Brett Okamoto broke the news. It's like he's breaking some news. Of course, he's going to go to the hospital. He was out for so long. That's a severe concussion. That takes you out of play for at least 6 months. for at least 6 months, and you have to have subsequent scans and treatment. As far as his career in the UFC, Askren, he's known to be a troll. He's known to be very active in social media, but even Dylan Dennis is making fun of him now. So I don't know how that's gonna play out. Of course, he's not gonna be in the interview at the end in the conference. So man, Masvidal, a star. Everybody's forgetting about Conor. Everybody's forgetting about the big. Masvidal is it right now. I'm telling you guys, Masvidal is the new Conor, but he's real. He's 100% real. So it's pretty exciting to see. And he just disconnected Ben Askren's brain from his body, clean out, and he laid like a plank afterwards. He's a gangster. Moving on, Holly Holm. Against Amanda Nunes. Holly was doing really good in the first 1 or 2 minutes. Got caught in a pattern. Amanda was absorbing like a computer-driven lioness, just absorbing all that data from Holly's kind of step-in kick with her right leg, and just timed it beautifully. It looked like the UFC game. It looked like the UFC video game. It was timed perfect. Holly went out. And now, I know you guys are not going to agree with me, but Jon Jones got beat. Thiago Santos, round 1, murdered the kicks. Round 2, Jon Jones wasn't landing that much. Thiago Santos controlled the pace. Thiago Santos controlled the striking. And although he was on his back foot a little bit, I think he did enough to win. If not win, get a tie. It's ludicrous how you see these judges take the win away from fighters. And Jon Jones, I put out a video about his kind of teep kick to the leg, his oblique kick. That's his main weapon. He keeps people at bay with that, but Jon Jones has a big weakness, and that's those skinny calves. If somebody can exploit Jon Jones' ankle joints like Demetrius Johnson did to Henry Cejudo on the second fight, even though DJ lost, he made Henry Cejudo's ankle turn like a gummy worm. If somebody can do that effectively with that low ankle calf kick to Jon Jones, that's it. It's all over. He's too top heavy. His legs are not conditioned. So somebody needs to Jon Jones legs. Jon Jones legs. That's a verb. Joning his legs. It needs to happen. He won. I mean, it's not. I mean, nobody's is crying about it. Nobody is going to write anything about it. It's business as usual in Vegas, but yeah, I think it should have been closer, at least a tie. We wouldn't have been satisfied with a tie either. Let's be real. I'm being silly. Yeah, nobody wins. In this case, I can see how Jon Jones wins and he's still a champion. So yeah, I'm happy about that. The shocker of the day is going to be Ben Askren. Here's what I think is going to happen. He's not going to come back. He's going to retire. And he's probably going to switch off social media for a bit now, focus on his wrestling. Damn. Masvidal is unforgiven. He's just, if you don't want to owe him money, you don't want to, as a matter of fact, I'm cutting down this video because I've said his name at least 4 times. I don't want to be next on the list. UFC 39 is wrapped up. Crazy. Not 2-piece and a soda. That was a family-sized meal, plus toys, plus dessert, which is one of those lava chocolate cakes. Yes. See you guys later.